Hello and welcome to another video on Learn SQL, and in today's video we are going to learn procedures. So first of all, let's look at basics of procedures. So let's start with the definition. So procedure is basically nothing but a pre-compiled set of SQL statement can be executed on demand. So we can run them whenever we would like. Procedures are commonly used to encapsulate the business logics or repetitive tasks. So if you are doing one task, time and again, and you want to, bring them into, a procedure or a set of statement which can run again and again. So you create a procedure for that, allowing them to be reused and easily maintainable. So what happens whenever we keep on doing certain stuff time and again, we create a procedure for that, and these procedures we can maintain, and then they can have definition. Now, if you have a complex logic, you are writing down a ETL, a transformation logic, you would not like to write down, proc where which you cannot use. Basically, you can't write down, just a code block and just run it. You would like something where you can manage it, you can store it, the definition, and if required, you wanted to change it. So all those you can done with the help of procedures. So your transformation logics and all could be part of a procedure. A stored procedure is a group of statements stored in database. These procedure accept parameter, execute SQL statement, and return results. Okay, so they will actually accept some parameter. With that parameter can control what is happening inside the procedure, and this is how we create a procedure. So let's look how we create a procedure. So create procedure is the keyword which is required. After that, we give a procedure name, then parameter, then type as, and then we give a in the begin and end we give the select statement. Okay, we can give select statement, we can have multiple statement. Is just one statement here I have given for example. Okay, at the rate parameter. Typically in the SQL server we write down at the rate parameter. Now on other databases that might not be the requirement that you write down at the rate parameter, but for differentiator we definitely try to put it little bit differently than our normal column name, so that we are able to differentiate this is a parameter and this is not a parameter. Now syntax would be almost similar, but the use of at the rate could be little bit different in different databases. Okay, so almost similar kind of syntax would be there. So time has come now that let's jump onto the SQL Server Management Studio. And in SQL Server Management Studio, what we are going to do is we are going to run these queries. So in the SQL Server Management Studio, I have already opened SQL Server Management Studio. I have already started my SQL Server, and we are going to open this new query. Right click and new query, or you can open the new query from here, and here we will try to create our first procedure. Now there are so many things you can do with the procedure that we cannot have all the things covered into one. So what we'll do is when we create ETL, we will again use procedures, and when we have some cursors, again we are going to go and create it inside the procedure. So all these things we are going to do inside the procedure. So to move forward, now we need to know procedures, and one more thing which is again can do repetitive tasks is function that we are going to create. So first we are in this episode we are only going to create procedures. So when we say create procedure, and proc name, let's say we give proc name as select sales as, right now I don't want to give the parameters, begin select star from sales, and this semicolon is optional, but in Oracle or MySQL if you are writing down, you might have to write it down. Okay, fine. So create procedure, select sales as, begin select star from sales, and this one. Okay, and let's compile it. So if it's empty, the parenthesis is optional, but it will also depend on database to database. So it created. Now this select sales is something which we have to call specifically. So there are certain things like we have something known as function where we can call it in select statement, but that's not true with the sales procedure. So let me show you. Select star from if I say like this is not going to execute. Now if I want to execute this, I need to say exec, and most of the database support execute. It's a short form of execute. Okay, exec, 4-letter code, and you can see it gives me all the data. So I'm able to write down a statement where I'm able to get all the data. Now see, if I have to do this thing multiple times, then I don't need to write down now. I'm getting this all thing by just just simply writing down an execute statement. Now this could be set of things, set of operation which you are going to do. Let's say when we are going to write down ETL and we create a dimension. Now that dimension creation is a repetitive task, because every time first time I'll run initial load, then I'll run incremental. Incremental is again time and again I need to load the data whenever new data is coming in. So the same procedure has to execute again and again. Now daily ETL runs. So am I going to write down those select statement daily and going to run it? No. So we are going to create a procedure for that, and then we will schedule those procedures. So now let's little bit complicate this procedure by, let's say, can we have input parameters into it. Okay. So what we said there, okay, let's look at the syntax here. So we said procedure name and parameter and type. Okay. So let's look at the parameters. We say @item. So let us give it as a new name 1. Okay, because we already created a procedure with the sales, select sales, and @item int. Fine. So let's try to compile this one now, but we are not filtering it, isn't it? So let's use that, where item underscore id equals @item. Okay. Let's try to compile this. This is working. Now take this one and we'll say execute this with, let's say, item ID 11. So now we can see this much, and how many number of rows we are getting now? 832 only. And if you remember with the previous procedure, let's execute that again and check it out. We were getting 30,000 rows. So here we are getting 30,000 rows, but here we are now passing the parameters. So we are getting lesser number of rows. Similarly, we can pass more parameters and can get, let's say, if I want to write down a complex statement coming from, let's say, 2 tables. Now instead of item, I may want an item name, isn't it? So item name, I may want it varchar. Okay. And we can actually take brand name @brand actually, because then we can filter brand and category together, comma @category varchar, and let's make it number 2. Now we don't have both of them here. So what we need to do is, we need to have an inner join, isn't it? Inner join item on. Now let's give the aliases to this table. Sales is S and item is I. We have all taught this into the previous one. So please go and watch the previous videos. Sales dot item ID equals to I dot item ID. It's all set. Where what we need? Brand. I dot brand equals to @brand, isn't it? And A and D, and we are going to write, and category equals to @category, and I dot category equals to @category. This is done. Now we have renamed the procedure. Do we have the same name? No. Okay. Now let's try to compile this. It's compiled successfully. Now try to execute this one also. Now we need to go to 2 parameters. Single quote, brand 1. Now if brand 1 and category 1, maybe they are together, then we are going to get it. category 1. Spelling is wrong. Brand 1 category 1. Let's execute this one. There is no data. Let's change category 2. Category 3. Are we giving wrong spelling? Let's check it out. One more. Otherwise, we have to go ahead and check what data we are getting. Okay. So now when we are not getting the how to test it. So first of all, let's go ahead and test it like this. We will bring in brand 1 data and check out what all categories we have with this. And say select I dot. See, this is also important. If something doesn't work, how do we check it? So now this is not working. So it is always good that you get some error and things do not perform. Okay. Then we know how to debug it. So now what we are going to say here is, in this one we are trying to find out the distinct categories when brand is on, so that we know what is the combination, and we want distinct, isn't it? So category 1 and 4, so it should have given results for category 1. So copy this data, category 1, it should give us the data. Brand 1 category 1, it is not giving data. Let's put C. Okay, it should not have compiled if it was wrong. So let's give it, let's compile it again, i.category. Now when we want to compile again, now this is where I see there's some error. So now how do I do that? So I can't say create procedure again, I have to drop it. I can say alter procedure. Alter procedure. If you want to alter the existing procedure, so let's look at the query again. Alter procedure, select star from inner join and brand equal to @brand, and this one. Let's try it out again. So let us see, we should get category 1 some data. Otherwise we have to run the exact same statement and check it out. So now we have run alter also. Still we are not getting any data. So now let's change little bit our statement and write down the same statement there. And category equal to category 1. We are getting data here, but we are not getting data from our procedure. So this select statement is working, the procedure is not working. So are we giving correct data types here? Yes, we are giving correct data types. Brand equal to varchar, category equal to varchar. Are we giving the correct table item? Because same thing we are able to work. So now we have to debug this. Why our execute statement, when we are executing with these two, says to, why it is not giving us data? Okay. So first let's do that by hard coding it. So now let me again copy this alter statement. Now you know how to change the procedure. Alter statement we use. Now bring in brand 1, remove everything here. Okay. And copy this statement also. Now we are doing a hard coding here. Now there is no meaning even if I'm doing, so it's coming. So with the hard coding it is coming, it means our parameter whatever we are passing is only having a problem. Okay, so time has finally come to let you know what is the error. So the error is all about the way we have created this function. So what we have done here in this one, the mistake which we have done, let me copy the initial one. Now you know how to debug it. So you, in case you face this issue, you will be able to debug it. So let's copy this first alter statement and let me tell you the error. The error is basically whenever you use varchar or something where you need to specify the size, you have to specify size. Now this is optional in some other databases. You may not have to do that. So depending on the database, you might have to do that. So now we know alter procedure. Now we execute this and let me execute this one. So now you're getting the data. So now you got that, if you correct the mistake, there are certain amount of steps, but the error might be lying somewhere else. So learn this step. How do you do? Like we passed one variable, then we checked it. Okay, only when I passing the brand as hard coded, it's not working. It means the parameter passing is not correct. Now when I'm passing the parameter, what is the problem here? Now the only thing which is different is with the varchar we give the data type and the length, the data type and the length we give, and then the length is something which we have not given. So now finally we have given the length and it is working. Now you know how to create a procedure. Now you also know the alter procedure syntax. Alter procedure, procedure name, everything is same other than create procedure. Okay, rest of the things are same. So you now learned it. Now how do we drop a procedure? Let's say I created a procedure, I don't want it anymore. So how do I do that? So let's learn that. Let's copy the procedure name which I wanted to delete, and then I'll execute and try that out. So drop procedure and procedure name, drop procedure name, and if I execute that, you will see that the procedure is dropped. Now if I try to execute this statement, it will not find a procedure. So now you know how to create a procedure, how to alter a procedure, and how to debug a procedure when it is not working, and how do we drop it. Okay, so go ahead and try this out, and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.